Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. You know it. 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. It's actually a little before 3:30. And you guys know if I'm here even earlier than 3:30, that means I found a story that I feel very strongly about. You know, I got out here quickly, and that's the case today. I swear to God, I can feel the adrenaline in my chest. This is one of those stories that this isn't about monetization or being liked or getting likes or comments or whatever. This is just one of those stories that I feel I'm not shocked, but I'm, like I said, I get this rush of adrenaline. I just want to share this story with other people. That's what this is one of those videos that I want other people to hear what this guy is saying, the way this guy is thinking. It's about Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert. Okay, Dilbert, the Office guy. He kind of looks like Drew Carey to me. He's got a turned up tie. This comic strip has been around since the 90s. I think around the 90s. This is the creator of that comic strip, Scott Adams. I don't know. I don't read Dilbert. Right off the bat, somebody creative, I would have guessed they would be left leaning. I think whenever we see another person that has similar characteristics as us, we think they think like us because I'm creative and he must be creative. He's probably left leaning, and he's not. The first impression I get of Scott Adams, I'm not saying this because I found out after reading these articles, and there's gonna be links down below. I watched 3 videos, and I found out he's a Trump supporter. Okay, and I'm not saying this, my impression of Scott Adams, my overall impression of Scott Adams is one of pity. It's really a pity. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying this to insult him or anything, but I get the feeling that he's frightened. He's frightened of the world, and he wants to be liked, and he's like a beta male. All right, yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be insulting or anything like that. There's 3 videos I watched, 3 videos, and he's been being canceled. That's the story that I've been seeing in my peripheral vision for the last couple of days. This story about the Dilbert creator, Scott Adams, being canceled by the I think it's the LA Times newspaper and a couple other newspapers across the country because of his racist comments on a podcast. Okay, so I watched 3 of his videos, and I'm going to talk briefly about these 3 videos. The links to all 3 of these videos will be right down below. And I urge you guys to watch these because when I watch these, I just, like I said, I got this impression. I wasn't so much angry with Scott Adams as it was just pity. It really was. It's like, thank God I don't think like this guy. And is there anything I could do to help this guy? I think, that's probably my first impression when I see people with what I consider faulty thinking. Okay. The first video, the one he's getting he is getting canceled for, and rightly so, honestly. The stuff he's saying is ridiculous. Okay, in this first video, it's going to be down below, he talks about a Rasmussen poll. Now, right there, when I hear the word Rasmussen, I don't know a lot about polls, but I know I've looked up polls before, and Rasmussen is very low ranked when it comes to accuracy. I think it's like 26 out of 28, right below Gallup. So they're not very accurate, and I know they're a right-leaning poll company, and right there, I'm thinking Scott Adams. It's like an echo chamber. Here's a right-leaning guy going to a right-leaning poll and getting and then repeating the information. An echo chamber. Okay, so he's talking about this Rasmussen poll, and he says the question was, is it okay to be a white person? Okay, now right there, that question is faulty. I'll get into that more in a second. This is what he's got a big problem with. This is the main video that he's being canceled for, and he says the results in this Rasmussen poll, that he says both white and black people were polled. And right off the bat, I wonder, well, is it a poll of everybody? Did they intentionally find equal black, equal white, Spanish, Asian? But then he says it's black and white, all people, black and white poll. And then he says the black respondents, 26% said no, it's not okay to be white. Then he says 21% He's repeating these. I don't know if these are even correct. This is what Scott Adams said he read. So it's secondhand, it's hearsay, really. 21% said they weren't sure. Okay, so this is what he's all upset about right there. So he says now he alters it right there. The next thing he says is, do you believe that? Do you believe they're asking this question? 46% of black people say it's not okay to be white. Can you believe that? No. First of all, there's so many questions I have with this poll. Who cares? Is it okay to be a white person? What does that even mean? Does it mean, what does okay, the word okay mean? And is it all white and black people that they're questioning, or is it just the black respondents? 26 of them said it's not okay to be black. It's not okay to be white. So what? Really? So what? And then he twisted it. He says 46%. He actually says this. He says 46% of black people say it's not okay to be white. No, that's not what the poll said. That just by going by your own information. You said 21% said they had no comment, no idea. So that's not the same as saying it's not okay to be, you know what I mean? He took the 21% that said they didn't know and he lumped it in. So he twisted the poll right there. Just because you say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to answer your question. And you walk away. That doesn't mean that you could take them and lump them in with the other 26% that said that's not okay to be white. You're twisting the results right there. All right. Now, let's just talk about the poll briefly. First of all, what does it mean to say, if you ask somebody, is it okay to be this or okay, what does okay mean? Does it mean, okay financially, okay in general? It's a loaded, it's a vague question. Okay. Second of all, 26%, yes, 26% of anybody, of any group of people will probably have a negative, I think that's probably pretty good, actually. I think if it was reversed and you asked all white people is it okay to be black, it'd probably be higher than 26% that would say, no, it's not okay to be black. I think 26% saying that it's not okay to be white is actually it's a pretty fair number to me, being a part Native American, part French Canadian. Okay, so then he goes off kind of on a rant saying that's it. This is where I started to get angry. He says because he says he's been identifying as a black person. What? What did you just say? You've been identified? Because he says because he wants to be on the winning team. Oh man, now I'm starting to get angry. Now he's being patronizing and condescending and arrogant. If you know the history of African American people in this country, I wouldn't call it the winning team. Okay. And you've been identifying as a black person? So I try to, you guys know I try to use empathy. Okay, so I'm part Native American. What if this guy, Scott Adams, said he's been identifying as Native American? How would I feel about that? Just being part Native American. That would tick me the F off, man. Who the hell, what are you making a joke of my race? You're pretending to be me because you think it's great to be me? Are you freaking kidding me? This made me angry. He's been going around identifying as black, man, and he says this in all seriousness because he wants to be on the winning team. He says, man, and people like this. Now he's all amazed. He's being canceled. Oh no, because of woke media. No, you're saying stuff that would offend anybody, a group of people. It's Scott Adams. Is he Irish? How would he feel if I said, well, I'm not Irish, but I'm identifying as Irish because they're great. They're the winning people. Part of you, it's not okay. It's like you're making fun of a group of people. You're patronizing them. In this case, he's patronizing them. He's being facetious. He's being intentionally a dick. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know if I probably just lost my monetization there, but so be it. So then it just gets worse from there. He says, that's it. Being a white people, get as far away from black people as you can. They all hate you. No, No, man. That's not what any of this said. Like I said, he lumped 21% that didn't say anything in with the people that didn't like. And then Rasmussen it's a right-leaning echo chamber, second of all. And third of all, 26% is a decent number. When you ask any bunch of Americans about another bunch of Americans, I wouldn't be surprised that a quarter of them probably wouldn't have something good to say about him. That's not surprising to me. It's actually, I think it's pretty good in this day and age, in this atmosphere. Okay, so that's that video briefly. And it just gets worse. There's another video where he says he's done helping black people. Something about Don Lemon talking about neighborhoods, black neighborhoods with poverty. And, I know that I had to go to African-American neighborhoods to purchase my drugs. And I know the whole history of this because the people at the very top of the drug chain aren't African-American. They're the businessmen, the people with a lot of money that invest in the drugs. And they get people that can, lower income people, that are more likely to make decisions, dangerous, bad decisions to sell drugs. That's what this is about. And police go into these neighborhoods less. It's less conspicuous. There's a lot of reasons. It's not that black people are bad. So anyway, he goes, he's not helping black people anymore. That ticked me off. What do you mean helping black people? This isn't about helping people. You treat people with fairness and respect. I started thinking about affirmative action. What if a black person got this apartment instead of me because of affirmative action? How would I feel about it? Seriously, honestly, how would I feel about that? If I'd be disgruntled. But the way I look at life is it would make me tougher. It's fine. Fate, the universe didn't want me to have this apartment, and I'm going to find another apartment. I wasn't meant to be here. That's how I would look at it. You can't change how other people think. You can only change the way you react to them. Like with Scott Adams here, and he's he's changing his whole worldview because he thinks people don't like him. And then it gets even worse. I know I'm running long now. He starts talking about male to male interaction and how it's all based on violence. The link to this will be down below too. And to me, this is the attitude of a beta male. He's scared. He thinks he's going to be hit. He's frightened. He wants to be liked. I'll admit, when I meet another male, to me, it's about kind of a rams bumping heads, like competition. Who's because right off the bat, there's going to be a more alpha male. And if they're both alphas, there's going to be one that's more alpha. And I know this every time I meet another male. But I'm not scared or frightened or think there's going to be violence. I do admit this though. That's why guys have friends. So it's already established. You don't have this friction when you first meet another guy. Like, where do you fit in here? I get the feeling that he's a beta male and he's scared of other males. And then he goes on to say something about, he's having a conversation on Twitter and he says, and somebody says, you're ridiculous. And then Scott Adams says, well, you try to stick your finger up. I can't even repeat this. It's this bizarre statement about fathers and a digit in an orifice. And I'm like, this guy needs help. At this point, this is the third video I watched. Like I said, you can watch all these videos down below. I see I'm running real late on time now. I want to talk more about this, man. If anything, I have pity for Scott Adams. I think he's scared. He's frightened. He wants to be liked, a beta male. And one of the biggest, he's using like an echo chamber to get his, to make his point. This isn't even real. He's twisting the facts, and then it just gets weirder. I'm going to talk more about this. The links will be down below. You guys have a good Sunday.